from Edinburgh.
How long have you lived in Edinburgh?
All my life.
All your life. Can I ask what makes you happy?
Sex.
Is it with anyone in particular, or?
I'm only joking. Life, all the miracles around you make me happy.
Yeah, good.
The fresh air, the sky, the people, the energy, life itself. It's wonderful.
We used to work with each other about 10 years
ago, yeah.
About 10 years.
Yeah.
We worked with each other in a women's fashion shop in Glasgow, and we just sort of somehow kept in touch since then.
Thanks.
This is called Kindama. It's a Japanese skill toy. We've got 3 different size cups, a hole in the bottom and a spike. Got plenty of tricks to do.
Do you mind showing us a little trick on that?
A little trick. There you go.
I've lived in other places as well, but I've lived here till last 2010.
Just came from the Museum of Art over there.
I'm just going home. I've just had like a quick stroll in the afternoon. All we're allowed to do at the moment, I guess.
I was looking, I don't really know what I was going into. Basically, I didn't know what type of art it was or anything like that, but then I saw some really beautiful Renaissance paintings that really struck a chord with me.
Do you know past what you for a living?
Me, I'm a film producer in Hollywood.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Could I ask what your name is?
Tony Hussain.
Well, I was born in Glasgow, lived in Aberdeen, moved to Edinburgh when I was about 8. So I grew up mainly in Edinburgh, but I have lived in other places as well.
We've just recently started, so we make documentaries for Netflix and feature films, short budget ones, filming in America and London and Edinburgh.
And what was it you've worked on recently?
We've done a documentary which we're about to put on air. It's about people who've moved from India to here, how they'll find life and how they progressed in the last 50 years. Like my father came from Pakistan, India, and I was born here.
I work in health and social care.
And do you enjoy that?
At the moment, not really. It's been quite challenging through COVID. So I work with people who have long-term health conditions. So it's not been easy with the pandemic because I can't deliver it the way I would normally be delivering it, face to face with people and having conversations. So yeah, it's been challenging.
How do you feel about the future of human rights?
Oh, doom. Well, sometimes quite pessimistic, but I sometimes try to get myself in the headspace that I guess every generation at some point feels pessimistic about how they're doing things and where they're going.
I feel it's a turning point, hopefully, with the younger generation. Certainly where I work, younger generation seem to be a little bit more adaptive to what's going on, whenever the old guard seems to be less more resistant to change. So
Yeah.
I'd like to hope that our generation, the ones after us, are going to be a little bit more responsible.
They do actually give me quite a bit of hope, even the way they can sort of organise and kind of connect with one another. I think they've got a lot more tools that we maybe didn't have.
Yeah.
And they're also a lot more socially conscious, I think, like just from the ones I encounter or see, like, so, you know, hopefully.
So would you say that when you were a teenager, that you are quite different from the people that are younger than you now?
I don't think I'm different. I think I cared very passionately about things, but I don't think I was as committed or organised. So when I used to think about the stuff I would do in high school, like setting up wee fair trade stalls or trying to petition stuff, it was never a sort of, I don't think my impact would have been as big as what the kids are doing now.
I think
they know more at a younger age.
Yeah, they're a lot more responsible. If I think back to whenever I was like 15, 16, 17, I couldn't have done half the stuff that probably a lot to do with the resources that younger people have now as well. But yeah, you look at them now and you think they probably are a lot more, some of them are a lot more mature than what we were probably at that age. Like they have a lot more goal focused ideals.
is there some sort of organisation or some sort of social group that involves this that
Yeah.
you've met through?
Of course, for me
Yeah.
and two of my good mates made a company of our community brands. And we
Oh,
organised.
this is your Kindama.
This is our product. And we have like a community. We hold jams. We have got a bunch of people join at the shop. They play. So yeah, that's some Kindama.
Right now, I'm working on a collection of poetry, sort of about nature and a few other things. Yeah.
You might tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I basically started it as a project sort of on the side that, I just did kind of for fun, and because I enjoyed it, then I showed it to a professor and she said, you should really sort of keep working on this. So I'm sort of doing a project where I'm hiking a lot through the Highlands area and then, working on this collection of poetry.
But prior to that, I was a restaurateur. So I had restaurants all over Scotland.
What were the name of the restaurants?
I had Cafe India in Glasgow, Papa Tony named after me, so many, Babur in St Andrews, all over the place, quite a lot of restaurants here.
And do you know if I ask how you got into the filmmaking?
I used to bring in Bollywood films to film in Scotland and help them out. I quite found the camera and all the directorship. I didn't want to be a director or an actor. I wanted to be the man who puts it all together. So for me, it's quite easy to do that. Opening all these restaurants. My other company, we develop large developments like student developments and hotels around UK. So film producing is similar to property. Putting the money together, putting the people together, getting the right director, giving the energy, and doing a deal to pre-sell it or do a deal with the cinemas, distributors. So I feel if you can, UK is one of the best, fairest country in the world. If you want anything you want to be, you can be. There's nothing holding you. People only hold themselves in their own mind. People ask, "Oh, how did you get there?" But you can also get there. You could be a Hollywood producer if you want. You could be a director in Hollywood. It depends how bad you want it. Some people don't want it bad enough. They just say it for the sake of it. If you really want something, believe me, you'll get it.
I feel sometimes quite positive about Scotland in terms of some of the policies we're pursuing from a sort of green sustainability perspective and some of the sort of social policies that have been implemented. The UK as a whole, not as optimistic, which is, it's a kind of strange way to be because obviously I've got so many friends in England and Wales and they all think the same way as me politically, but then you kind of look at the nation as a whole and we don't seem to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, relatively positive about Scotland, but I worry about the UK sometimes.
I work in digital marketing. So yeah, came here to study for a year, fell in love with the city and just stayed afterwards.
Who would you say was the most interesting person you've met?
Sean Connery.
Do you want to tell me a little bit more about it?
I met him in my restaurant in 1996. I met him in my Edinburgh restaurant in 2005. I love his presence, his strongness, his straightforwardness. What a man, what an actor, very passionate, very good, means what he says, someone you can trust. Did you know he was the first actor in the world? When agents get money, the money goes to the agent and then they give the actor the money. He turned the clock, he turned it around. He got the money and he gave the agents he gave them their fair percentage. So if you do a research on Google, you'll find that he's one of the very first Hollywood actors, Scottish actors, to do that. He's one of the most interesting people I've met. And Prince Charles. And Prince Charles was very, very, and Katy Perry recently, and a few months ago I met her. I found her really down to earth. I found her amazing. That woman is amazing. Her energy, her charisma, the way she sings, she changes her image. So she's a star, a real star.
I wanted to be a singer.
did you stop feeling as though you wanted to be a singer after a while, or?
Yeah, I still do a bit of singing, but I would say I'm preoccupied with other things now. It was a bit of a childhood dream.
I would say that what makes me happy is. You want to wait for this?
Ooh, great question.
Food.
Yeah, food, seeing friends and family, having a bit of freedom.
Seeing friends and family being happy.
Yeah,
Just
good well-being, I would say,
Yeah.
in times like this.
Is there any food that you like specifically?
pasta is like my
Cakes.
happy food.
Cakes, yeah.
Spending time with the people I love and also learning new things and making new things that I can share with the people I love.
Just being in my little flat, reading a book.
Oh, you, I suppose just doing things like this, and just appreciate, just having. I've got good friends. I've got a nice family. I've got 2 kids of my own. Yeah, just I've got my health. Yeah, so all those things make me happy. I appreciate all those things.
Makes me sad. Feeling like I'm not living my life with purpose and intention.
The fact that all my friends live in London.
Losing time.
I suppose things like, what I've talked to you about, things like that, things, hearing about what other people have to contend with sometimes and just other people's, so anything that affects the people that I care about, but obviously generally speaking, I think this whole COVID thing has been, I find that really quite hard because I think it's really hard on people, all sorts of, emotionally, financially, everything, so.
Everything that's going on in America right now. The people that don't believe in climate change, people that they don't believe that's a thing, people who don't care, people who don't want to fund the NHS.
I feel like I get sad at, I guess, the selfishness of people, and I wouldn't even exclude myself from that. I just feel like as a world there's so much resources to go around, there's so much things we could share, and it does make me genuinely really, it cripples me a bit that people unnecessarily suffer, don't they? And there shouldn't really be a need.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess people's attitudes from that perspective, that can make me really, really sad, especially when it happens within things like your own family and friendship circles.
Yeah,
it
I
can
would
make
say,
you-
yeah, specifically that. Like, I'm happy to have a discussion with someone on their ideals or their beliefs, but sometimes when it gets down to the point whenever they just are so ignorant that they don't want to understand your point of view, that makes me really sad to think that, why they believe that, why they think that they're only right, and that they won't even consider someone else's ideas.
Probably the hardest thing was losing my brother to cancer when he was 36, so that was in 2005. That was probably the biggest challenge I've had to do.
I don't have challenges. Anything I do is like a piece of cake. I don't see problems. I take a road where there's no problems. I deal with people who don't give me problems.
I'm pretty lazy.
I mean, I'm pretty chilled out with anything, so just take it as it is. I mean, if you just don't take everything too hard, then you can't really complain. That's my premise, at least.
Yeah. It's very solid.
The meaning of life is to be kind. To if you've got more than £1 million, then there's your legal responsibility, human responsibility, to give anything above £1 million to other people. The £1 million will buy you a house, a car. It will buy you your holidays and some investment to keep a reasonable middle life. But I think when you've got millions, you're talking about. I'm hoping to have millions, and I feel it's my responsibility as a human being to help people less charities or help younger people. I've opened more than 35 restaurants. If I can help people, I wouldn't charge. I would help them with my knowledge. Knowledge is something you should give in life, because I've lived the life to be able to do that. I think also the meaning of life is that this is all a test. We're here on a trial, and it's, it's if you're good, you're going to go to a wonderful place. If you're bad, you're going to a bad place. So it's a balance. You have to. A lot of people take the wrong road and they suffer. They go to drugs, they go into violence, they're going to end up in jail. So their life ends up hell. You have a choice of doing the right thing, and you should do the right thing. Doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are, what sex you are. It should be equal opportunity for everyone. Everyone deserves a chance in this life. Everyone deserves to do good for each other. And if we all obey by that, there wouldn't be many more wars, I don't think. And we would have good leaders. So leadership, the leader of America or United Kingdom, these very influential countries, this should be example that we should be a mixed race of different people, different nationalities, live together and improve life for our younger generation. And if there's a problem, do not ignore it. My problem or the community problem or a social problem is everyone's problem.
I'm not too familiar with the political climate of this country, but back in the States, a lot of things are very polarized, and it seems that people are, throwing away friendships over political disagreements and things like that. And that is the sort of thing that I don't see as helpful for society generally.
I've never really had a clue about what I wanted to do. I did go to university, I got a degree, I ended up working in personnel for quite a lot of time, and I enjoyed that, but then I had my family and I had a period of time off, and I did, for a variety of reasons, I did quite a lot of volunteering in that time because of, I had time and of what had happened to my brother actually, so that's how I ended up working in health and social care, and I do enjoy that. I do enjoy what I'm doing, but it's not come about because I've known what I wanted to do.
I think as a child I wanted to be a scientist, and I spent a lot of my first few years in, studies trying to do that, and I think it just didn't end up being the right fit for me, as you can probably tell from what I've ended up in, but I still enjoyed, my time doing that.
Do you mind if I ask how you feel about the direction of the human race?
Well, I've no idea, to be fair. I mean, it's fucked. But there's only so much can be done. That's the thing. There's too much, in my eyes, too much negativity against it for anything to actually change. And it's a small handful of people that try and make the change, which is it's never going to be enough. But there's too much negativity with people. You can't make that change. There's only so much you can do, and then it feels like it's for nothing because there's too much to contrast it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think I am an optimist, so despite everything happening in the world, I think there's always room for improvement, and we can do better, even if we're not, doing well in certain things at certain times.
I say be yourself, live your dream, be kind, and never be scared, and live strong. Don't let certain things make you feel bad or make you feel weak. Just be yourself, and be happy with the things that are free around you, like a simple walk or a smile or an act of kindness. Thank you.
I'm not a very profound person.